Hey, kia ora everybody, Chris Farhi here, Bayleys Insights and Data team. We've got Ankur Dakwale talking about the biggest news in New Zealand real estate. Now Ankur, we're a little bit different. This is obviously not Bayleys HQ. Like, whereabouts are we today?
No, it's not, and only one of us got the memo of how to dress properly to be on a farm like this. This is the Bayleys listing of Warkworth Business Park. Now this is up in Warkworth. This is a scaled industrial greenfield opportunity. It is a 52 hectare consented light industrial development, of which 42 hectares is up on offer for sale. It's got a resource consent for 93 lot subdivision of lots of ranging between 1,400 square meters to a hectare big. It's 40 minutes north of Auckland CBD, located at the end of the Puhoi to Warkworth motorway extension that you can see behind us. And if you want to learn more about this, please get in touch with Chris, Blair, Henry Napier, or Scott Campbell from the Bayleys Commercial team.
Yeah, this property is pretty cool. We took the new motorway up, surprisingly fast to get here. So well worth checking out if you're in the market for something like this. So in this video, we've got an interesting lineup of content. We've got some of the political announcements, specifically from National Party, around what they do for the property sector if they get into government. We've got a snapshot of recent sales from our auction team for Queenstown Lakes District and Southland. We've got a little bit of content from our global partner, Knight Frank, and of course we've got the property of the week. But first off, we've got some interesting announcements, right? So it's obviously election season. We've got some of the parties announcing specifically what they're looking to do for taxation, property sector and that type of stuff. And so Ankur, we had the National Party this week in the headlines. What are they talking about?
Yeah, so the National Party came out with their policies, and they said they will reintroduce interest deductibility for rental homes and investments, reduce the bright line test from 10 years to 2 years, remove the foreign buyer ban for homes above $2 million, and implement a foreign buyer tax at 15%.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. So the policies we think will have an impact on the housing market, like an increase in activity. We've got two different things happening. You'll have the interest deductibility changes would impact that lower end where investors tend to be active, and then in the higher end above 2 mil, potentially those foreign buyers coming back in and adding a bit more activity in there. So it could be interesting if they get into government. And so next up, we've got the latest home building consent data from Stats New Zealand. And Ankur, what have we got here?
Yeah, so we've got about 43,000 homes that were consented in the 12 months to July 2023. This is down 14% on a 12-month basis. Out of this, we had 18,000 standalone homes, and this was down 23%. And like this theme that's been going on, multi-unit homes, there were 26,000 consented, but this was only down 6.4%. New homes consented during July itself were down 25% on July 2022.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a slowdown coming through that consenting space, but interesting to see that the multi-unit homes are still a bit more resilient than your standalone homes. Maybe they responded a little bit faster to what's happening with the market. And so next up, we've got our weekly sales snapshot. So this snapshot's powered by the team at Bayleys Auction, with a sample of recent residential sales around the Queenstown and Southland Lakes areas. And for this one, we've chosen some of the lower end sales just to give you a sense of what's happening in that sort of first home buyer / investor space. And so Ankur, first off, we've got one in Frankton.
Yeah, so first up we have 66/716 Frankton Road in Queenstown. This is a gem for first home buyers and investors alike. It's 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom unit, located close to the walking tracks with stunning lake and mountain views. And this was sold under the hammer for $784,000, and it was sold by Eloise Morris and Maria Rosa from Bayleys and Frankton.
Yeah, next up we've got 19/43 Goldridge Way in Queenstown. Charming Queenstown unit, 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom home, lake and mountain views towards the Rock Falls and Deer Park Heights. Centrally located, low maintenance holiday home, sold under the hammer for $590,000. And this one was sold by Phoebe Swale and Jimmy Allen from the Bayleys Frankton team.
And last up, moving a little further south, we got 6 Robina Place in Gore. Now this was 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms on 673 square meters, privately nestled in the serene Robina Place. North-facing orientation ensures ample sunlight throughout the day, and it was sold under the hammer for $900,000 and was sold by Julie Mitchell from Bayleys and Gore.
And so there's been a noticeable pickup in auction activity right across our network. We're in the auction room for Bayleys Auction earlier in the week, and it was pretty cool to see the number of potential buyers that were in the room, in contrast to what we might have seen maybe 9 months ago. Next up, going offshore, our global partner Knight Frank released their latest Prime Global Rental Index for Q2 2023. And so this studies the rental growth across prime properties in a whole bunch of different markets. And so, Ankur, what do we know from this?
Yeah, so they've coined this global residential rent surge at 3 times their pre-pandemic rate. So you got prime rents are up 7.5% on an average growth in the 12 months to June 2023. Now comparing this to pre-pandemic growth, which was at 2.2%. Top of the list is Singapore at 24.5% annual growth. Auckland was 5th on the list with a growth of 7.2% annual growth. So we're pretty much in line with the global average.
Yeah, and so that one's pretty interesting. That's for prime properties. We think we'll start to see some impacts from migration coming through this data. The other thing which is interesting is I remember if you went back maybe 12 months ago with the high inflation, people were saying that that would dampen the rental market because of impacts on disposable incomes. What we're actually seeing at the moment is things like migration feeding into some pretty massive rental growth, both in New Zealand and offshore. So yeah, just something interesting to watch, I guess. Then finally, to wrap up, we've got our property of the week. This week I've got 20 Periita Drive in Rolleston. This is a 4,141 square metre regularly sized land holding located close to the iZone Business Park, close to State Highway 1 and 2 different inland ports. If you want to learn more about this one, contact Nico Stike from Bayleys Christchurch.
And my property of the week this week has to be the one we're standing on at the moment. It's Warkworth Business Park. It's a 52 hectare consented light industrial development, of which 42 hectares is for sale. Their resource consent for 93 lot subdivisions ranging from 1,400 square meters to a hectare. It is located on 3 main arterial routes and right on the doorstep of the new Puhoi to Warkworth motorway extension, which is extremely quick. So if you want to learn more about this, please get in touch with Chris, Blair, Henry Napier or Scott Campbell from Bayleys Commercial.
Yeah, this is an awesome property. So with that said, we'll wrap it up here. Massive thanks to the vendor for this property, the team from Bayleys Commercial for hosting us. Cheers, Ankur.
Thanks, Jeff.
And we'll see you next time.
See ya.